I've always had a passionate desire for auto racing. Anything that went fast, I love. My dad and I, whenever I was growing up, we would have our father and son time. My dad would give me a choice during summer. Well, do you want to go see a baseball game, a football game, or do you want to go to the racetrack? Every time I'd say, all right, let's go to the racetrack. I joined the Army in July 19th, 2007, and I served 6 tours in Afghanistan. My grandfather served, and he was a mechanic on airplanes, on P-51 Mustangs, and he always had some fun stories to talk about, and so I always thought that was neat to kind of have my own stories, my own background in the military. I served 3 tours as a maintenance mechanic, so I would work on the helicopter and have it go off on the mission, and then my final 3 deployments I was a crew chief on Chinook helicopters and would fly with them, work on them, and be the door gunner on them. So. I've always been a NASCAR fan. And while I was in the Army, they had a marriage retreat over here in Concord over at a hotel nearby. And my wife and I, you know, being fans of Hendrick Motorsports in particular, we always wanted to visit the campus. And when I came by, I knew that they had a pit practice area. So I went straight there because I always kind of was curious and always wanted to do something in the pit department. So when I was here, I saw Coach Greg Morin. He's the head coach of the 4888, and he and I ended up talking for a little bit. I told him my desires to be on his team in particular, and he said, well, you know, just continue to have, you know, stay strong, be in shape, and we'll see what we can do for you. I had to show him that I was a bit more serious than your average person that says, what does it take? So I went and told him my training regimen. I told him what I was thinking of doing and thinking of implementing into my program. Being in Savannah, Georgia, there was no one there that knew anything about racing and pit crewing in particular. So I would do a lot of research on the internet, see what kind of videos they might have that were of pit crew members, what the choreography was, what it was like, and I kind of got a vague idea of what I should be doing, even though I had no idea what to do. But then just kind of preparing myself for the tryout date, and I tried out during the off season between the 2013 and 2014 season. My wife was actually in the car watching the tryout, and so I walked back out there and I told her I'm in. And her and I were just so excited and so happy, and it was just a real big personal goal that I didn't know if I could really achieve, you know, because it's so competitive, and just being able to even have the opportunity to be in the development program, I mean, that's huge. So now that we're here, we're just going to try to make the best of the opportunity. I definitely, no doubt in my mind, I would not be where I am today without the military. There are a lot of similarities between the racing community and aviation, in particular military aviation. The integrity you have to have and all the little things make a big difference in the end. Going over the wall, you have basically a choreographed chaos, very similar to whenever you're overseas and you're going into to fly into a hot LZ. I mean, there's so many moving parts and everyone has to do their job, so you're relying on your buddy next to you to do his job so that you can do your job effectively. And whenever something goes wrong, I mean, it's going to impact everyone. You know, you're just as strong as your team member next to you, and what his weaknesses are is what the overall weaknesses are, and what his strengths are betters the team. So, you know, we all work together and we try to better each other and try to move forward as a team. So team is massive in both communities. I had the opportunity to talk to my old unit commander, and he and I were able to just talk and exchange stories and the similarities between the military and pit crewing. And you never think the guy you're working with, you know, especially in the military, is going to end up in some kind of sport, like, you know, any type of real professional sport. So it was just really cool to kind of share that common background, because there's no other camaraderie like having your brother in arms. It's amazing just to kind of be a part of the 88 crew. I mean, they are the MVPs of all pit crews. To be a part of that type of caliber of a team and being a part of that type of a community, I mean, it's awesome. And Junior Nation is just awesome.
Yale Junior.
Junior, baby, Junior!
Woo!
Woo!
Exiting out of the military, there's a mental battle. There is the, well, what if I don't make it? What if I can't do this? What if I'm not good enough? Well, never set limits on yourself. You know, the voice that you listen to inside will determine the life you experience. So always talk positive to yourself, and you are good enough, and you can do it. And you're going to bring and elevate yourself to levels that you never thought possible. Just always try to surround yourself with positive people, and you know, the things that you can achieve, you'll be very surprised at yourself.